Hello everyone, welcome back to my show. It's start of a new week, it's Thursday, and we're back in the shop buying books and getting donations and taking a delivery of books as well. 3 huge boxes arrived from the distributors. So there's lots and lots to price up and find space for. Everything's looking quite full as it is. We're also having to put in a quick order for Christmas cards as well. A bit late with that. The spinning rack of pulp fiction and non-fiction is filling up nicely. Just a couple of things I want to show you while I'm here. We've amassed a small collection of Helen Bradley art books. Now, rest this here. Helen Bradley is somebody I've got a couple of books by, and this is the one that I got first of all. And Miss Carter wore pink. I don't know if I've talked about this before. There she is, at home painting in Oldham. And they're always about scenes from a Edwardian childhood and her conjuring up this past that when she's painting it no longer exists. She's a kind of happier Lowry, I always think. And there's this person, Miss Carter, who appears in most of the pictures in pink. I don't know if that means anything. And Miss Carter came with us. Got 2 copies of this. I think this is about their day trip to the seaside, to Blackpool. I just love them. I'm tempted to collect the whole lot myself, but one thing that I'm learning in the last couple of weeks is the joy of actually passing books on and not having your house completely chock-a-block all the time. I'm learning that I don't need to own all the books in the world, which is quite a revelation to me. Graphic novels, we've had a few things come in. Oh, I'm going to fetch that down. Look at this. This I want to keep for myself. Having said all of that, Marvel Origins of the 1970s. This is in hardback, one of those collectible things, and it's still in the cellophane. But it's the origins of characters like Spider-Woman and She-Hulk, Nova and Captain Britain. This is kind of my era of Marvel Comics, really, what they call the Bronze Age. So I'm quite tempted to whip off with that. The other one is this, a Star Trek one, where they team people up, and this is with the Green Lantern people. Because they were kind of outer spacey, weren't they? So that's quite tempting. I think we're probably undercharging for all of these things, but that's worth letting that slip out as a secret, that we're undercharging for collectible things. That's not a bad bit of news to get around. There's a handful of Hardy Boys here. Now there's going to be masses of Hardy Boys. When we stopped in Pickering, we bought a whole load of Hardy Boys books. And I don't know if people regard them as desirable or collectible now. I know Nancy Drew always goes in a flash, but I think the Hardy Boys were better. I don't know. I love these editions. I've got a whole load of them at home, the Armada 70s copies. These are the ones I would borrow from the library. And building up this stash, of very collectible Goosebumps books, the ones that everybody goes on about on YouTube. I guess it's a certain generational thing, isn't it? It's people who are in their, I guess, middle age now, who grew up with them in the 90s. I always say that I was too old for them, but I did read them because I read them to my sister, and I would read her copies for myself as well because I thought they were fantastic. I really thought they were great. Kind of the equivalent in a way of our Target Doctor Who books back in the 70s and 80s. We've got some first editions, look. Dale Peck. Jojo Moyes, and there's a first edition Nick Hornby from 1998, signed. I have got signed things at home that I should think about parting with. Things that, I don't need signed copies of Doris Lessing and Muriel Spark. Maybe somebody else would. There'll be a collector. So I have to think about that. You've seen my science fiction section, of course, which it's interesting how people come in and leave with an armful of Terry Pratchett's or whatever, and you have to refill it quite quickly. That's quite interesting because I guess I just got used to the idea that things might just stay the same. You go to some bookshops and it looks like the same stock has never moved. But it's interesting what does keep moving. There's a best of Saki in folio edition there. Something else I'd have for myself. Anyway, that's it. Oh, I was going to show you I have shown you before, but it's even more full. Look, the book tree. There's Jeremy. With recommendations. There's one here where she said, I've put The Well of Loneliness on one side, but I've got a happier book on a second tag. Can't see what that is now. Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time. And the Doctor Who section is becoming quite full. It's colonising other shelves, and I think it'll go on doing that. I found a greetings card with a fez on it, that should go there. And the queer section is spreading out, it's flexing its wings and muscles. And so there's a pile of, this was amongst one of the donations today, of queer fiction. I hope people value this stuff. Those are kind of books from the 90s. And you do worry that people don't value things that are kind of that recent in a way. Beryl Cook, that's just come in. I've got 2 Beryl Cook collections. I love her paintings. Okay, that's a whiz whiz round the shop on a slightly dismal looking Thursday out there. I hope everyone's well, and I will talk to you all again quite soon. Goodbye.